here we have Maria Theresa up here on her throne, the mother of 16 children, all single births. This is the museum quarter. Art Museum.
It was made by Canova. He was a very famous, very popular sculptor. By the way, this is not a fresco, it's a painting on canvas, which was glued to the ceiling. By a man, a Hungarian who lived in Paris. He was informed about the dimensions of the hall and from where the painting would be viewed, and so he designed it. Then at the bottom of the step you see two people, an old guy with a beard, that's Leonardo da Vinci. The young one in green, that's Raphael. Then if you move over to the right, there is a man in black with a chisel in his hand, leaning on his head. That's Michelangelo. Right in front of it, and the painter on it, that's Veronese, or the Venetian painter. And then if you move to who has this crimson-colored cape and crimson-colored cap, that's a pope. Julius II, who was a Renaissance pope, and he was over 80 when he made this, and he shows us again the flesh of a naked lady, because the Greeks and the Romans had an awful lot of naked women or men, you see. And you can see she's at her toilet, she's looking at a mirror in front of her, there's a second mirror on the wall behind her, you can see the
this is by Titian.
It's also part of the triangle. And here, the Madonna is in front of a cloth of honor. You see, this was done in former times, in the 1400s. And you can see also here again the triangle. See the triangle? It's a very popular composition of the Bible in the Renaissance. You can see here the blue is a clear blue, and the red is much clearer, much more.
Titian.
The Empress, the Habsburg Empress,
from Venice.
admired him. And they visited him in his workshop in Venice.
It's also Titian 40 years later.
And if you walk a bit closer, you cannot distinguish a contour anymore. You cannot really see where the white of the man's tights stop and where the background begins. David. It's an old story in the Old Testament.
This is David going to the ceremony. Someone's getting anointed. This is Mary and Jesus, and this is Saint Dominicus, who founded the Dominican order.
You need to go via the saints.
And all of these people are looking towards Saint Dominicus, painted for a church and altarpiece. When some of the angels rose up against God, the archangel Michael casts them into the abyss of hell. The defeated angels now become devils, crying out in desperation. This room is full of Habsburgs. That's Maria Theresa. Some landscapes around here.
From Lorraine, he's very much interested in natural science. The most famous daughter, Marie Antoinette, who lost her head. Then we have the eldest two sons.
The upper corner has a bust of Louis XVI.
By Canaletto. He is originally from Venice and goes to Rome. And
here, a group of hunters are returning to a village, accompanied by an exhausted pack of dogs. Only a single fox hangs on one of the spears. To the left, preparations are afoot to singe a pig over an open fire. There's skaters on the frozen pond, and many other details all add to the picture's enormous popularity.
Where you were supposed to fast and do penance, okay? Very important in former times. Play around, enjoy life. So we have these two very sharply contrasted two seasons. And carnival.
Picture shows carnival, and the right-hand side is Lent.
there's a lady with a... Well, we think it...
And there's the bride.
The scene here refers to a custom that happened, was practiced in Flanders. The bride has to be there, her family members come as well, they eat and drink, and she must not speak and she must not eat.
And has bagpipes, which were introduced to Europe by the Turks. They were used to keep the soldiers marching together. Their hands Holbein
Born in Bavaria, and he wrote
lived in England.
And then he went to Basel, Switzerland, which was the center of production. Because of time,
But these are all Albert Dürer.
If you've never heard of Dürer, he was a German, very successful, and there was one thing that he lacked. You see, he was trained in the tradition of Germany and not in the Renaissance style. And the Northern art meant you painted every little detail absolutely perfect. And if you look at the Madonna here, look at her face, the hairband, you can see the hairs of the strands of hair. It's very detailed. But if you look at her neckline here, you cannot, it's all flat. The problem was, how do you paint a person on the canvas so that you have the impression there is some body to it? Excuse me, and the mother of the house, the lady of the house, has fallen asleep. Can you see her there? Has fallen asleep. Which is why the dog eats the pipe on the table, the boy smokes a pipe, a girl crawls up onto a cabinet and tries to get something out, the baby in the bottom, in the left corner, plays with some pearls. A prostitute has come into the living room, and she holds a glass of wine or whatever it is between the legs of the man of the house, who takes advantage of his wife being asleep.
And this is a clicker. This is by Vermeer.
Celebration. She's written down and Laura Reed is of course famed. She's written down the fame and glory of the painters in her book. Now, which painters am I talking about?
All Rubens.
So to get a painting done 100% by him was very expensive. And this is one of us was made by him. And the Madonna in red, this talks about a lady, and she made, according to a priest investment herself, and she's offering it to the priest in front of her. He's the same, this Lady Fonso is the same. And on the right we have the governess, the Habsburg governess of Belgium. On the left her husband, he's also a Habsburg. Now, and they were meant to be teaching material for the simple people who couldn't read and write. They built a Jesuit church. And they wanted to have
Altarpiece is St. Ignatius, who did his proselytizing work in Asia.
They're having a fit. They were believed to be possessed.
He's only made this sketch, and then his studio painters did the work. He did this 100%, and then his students
the sketch. They said yes, we like
did
it.
this.
And then the